TV, West Nile Web is the one-stop hub for breaking news on everything political, cultural, tourism, entertainment, sport, music, and much more. Visit our website at www.westnileweb.com.
West Nile Web. Discover opportunities. Live your dream.
All right, a very good afternoon to you, viewers. Welcome to Rhino TV. My name is Noel, and in this edition of the weekly news roundup, I am joined by one of West Nile's finest bloggers, but also the spokesperson for Democratic Party, Mr. Lemeriga Fadil. Fadil, you are most welcome to the studios of Rhino TV.
Thank you, Rhino TV. Thank you, Noel, for this welcome, and I'm impressed to be for the first time here on Rhino TV.
Very interesting right there. We are broadcasting from Ochiba Coastal Town, and you can stream live this particular edition of the weekly news roundup on the West Nile Web, on the website, and also you can view this live on Rhino TV YouTube channel and also on the Facebook page. And I'm glad that you are joining us. We'll be listening to you, but also reading your comments as we progress with the discussions right here. Please don't forget to drop your comments below the video, and we'll be able to read it and also make comments on what you have articulated right over there. Now, we are coming back from a week that has been filled with a lot of activities, a lot of issues, a lot of mind-boggling issues, I can tell you. Well, we started the week on a very bad note where we had the incidents where one of the students of Arua Public SS was actually murdered in cold blood by her purported boyfriend. This particular incident happened at Idiofe in Terego Alengo. So we had this story, and on Sunday in the evening, this is actually when the issue happened. The boy actually was said to be in a relationship with this particular lady who was actually a minor S2 student of Arua Public Secondary School. The story blew up, and so many comments came up, but most importantly, there were issues of parenting. For instance, what happened in the aspect of parenting that led to this issue, and also how can we tame the children during this time of COVID when most of them are actually home. They are actually not doing a lot of things. These are issues that kept on coming. Fadil, if you could weigh in on this particular issue before we actually go into the analysis of the bigger issues that we have on our table for this afternoon, just on that particular incident.
Thank you, Mr. Host. Actually, what happened in Idiofe over the weekend was just a tip of the iceberg. You can be able to recall that all over West Nile, in fact, in the entire country, the rate of teenage pregnancy is quite alarming. Actually, those two couples were on the verge of making one pregnant. And this is what the COVID-19 has been able to cause. So the problem is much bigger. The fact that families are already struggling, the fact that they cannot be able to control their children, which can bubble into that. And these incidents happened in the morning. So it could be that these two people slept together, or they were going for something that was going to be murky. So this is my understanding of the situation. So the problem is bigger. I thought it is only a West Nile problem, but I realized that even in Eastern Uganda, the rate at which young girls have gotten pregnant is even overtaking those on the West Nile districts. So let every stakeholder participate and take part in this problem here, so that we're able to reduce on this. Because whether you like it or not, these pupils or students will have to go to school one day. And certainly either towards the end of this year, the academic year would have opened. So at the end of the day, when we lose two young people who are students themselves, one was at Omugo Technical School and one at Arua Public Secondary School, this is already lost to this country. That lady was progressing. She was going to be somebody useful in the future. Now this man here is not going to come out of jail. He's going to serve a good number of years of his time. So when he comes out, one, he will not have attained the education he would have acquired if he remained in Omugo. Two, he'll come out frustrated, and he'll find out that the people with whom, who were his age mates, with whom he went to school, would now have advanced. So this man will not be able to achieve his life ambitions. So this is already a loss to him, to this family, and to this country, because we shall not be able to benefit out of the productive, any productive thing they are going to do for their families, for their communities, and for this region and for the entire country. That is a loss. Now, you also look at what has been charged. The girl's family charged
bride price?
Yes, 15 cows, also 15 goats, and 10 million shillings. Now, in this COVID situation here, where can all these resources be gotten? And they stopped the body from being buried until elders had to intervene. And all this was written down in an agreement and will continue to be paid in the nearest future, which means the little resources that family will have gotten will now be used partly for serving themselves and partly for paying the family of the victim. So this has colossal economic repercussions on that family that is going to pay. So that is one other problem, which means the quality of food they are going to consume is going to come down. The quality of clothing is going to come down. The schools they are going to send their children to is going to be of a lesser quality. General life is going to be very hard. So that is the implication of that. And whether you like it or not, the relationship between the two families is already strained. They can pretend that that is a small matter. But the fact that their girl, who was in a republic in Senior 2, was stabbed to death, will continue to remain, and they'll even be reminding their children that something like this happened, and even worse is still, all of them stayed in Idiofe.
The same village?
The same village,
yeah.
Yes. So such issues will continue to pop up to the relationship. And if the guy is called to Musume, I don't know whether he's a Mnyankole or that is just a given name. So it even causes intertribal problems, and it's not a good thing that these things are happening. And my cry is that let every stakeholder participate and make an end. I'm sure this man is going to be sent to jail, because I believe he's still at Arua police station. They are already processing his file. He'll be taken to court, and he'll be incarcerated. I know whether they are going to take him down or to the children's remand home in Gilgil or whatever. So it is a loss at the end of the day.
So through the analysis and the issues that you have mentioned, Fadil, but in this bigger picture, who is to blame? How can we actually prevent such kind of issues, given the fact that we are in a lockdown and also we do have children at home?
I blame the parents, firstly.
Why?
Because these are still young people who should have been catered for, who should have been looked after by their parents. I don't so much blame government or any other stakeholder, because these are people who still sleep in their parents' houses, who eat food from their parents, who are even clothed for free. Yes. So what are they doing? Can you be able to watch over their lives and warn them that whatever they are doing is wrong, and let them stop it? So to me, the parents are to blame, because they did not do their parental role in seeing to that these two students stayed in a way that what happened should not have happened. But to me, the parents take majority of this blame here.
Okay, well, viewers, that's just a tip of the iceberg, and we are still going on to analyze more of the issues that happened. So, just as we were recovering from this particular incident in Idiofe Teregwalengo, we had also another incident that took place, and remember, some few weeks ago, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament actually also came out and brought out the picture and instituted a committee of members of parliament, mostly medical doctors, to traverse the country to kind of try to ascertain the impact of government interventions on issues of COVID. Now, this brings out the picture of COVID-19. We're left with 6 days to the end of the lockdown, but a lot of questions are being asked. Is this lockdown, was this lockdown ideal, for instance? Many people are saying, what next after these days elapse, after we complete the 42 days? We are also expecting that within the last days, maybe next week, the president should be able to come to address the country. Now, these reports also that the committees are getting on board kind of tends to bring a negative picture on what is happening on ground, because in terms of service delivery, things are not happening. If we could start from there, Fadil.
Let me begin in Yumbe. The committee went to Yumbe Hospital. The local government there recommended that the COVID-19 patients be transferred to Lokopio Technical Institute. The committee recommended otherwise, but afterwards, the Yumbe local government Corona Task Force overruled that decision of the MPs. As we talk, all the patients have been taken to Lokopio. Coming to Arua, these people found a lot of mess. They found out that, in fact, there were 2 bodies that were lying in our hospital without being taken to Nebi Hospital, where they're supposed to be kept for safety. And Arua does not actually have a modern mortuary. They went on and found out that actually the director of the hospital is a dictator short of. Whoever speaks against his administration, this person loses his or her job. They found out that up to now, there is no clear information about the ambulance that got lost in March this year. And to our consternation, the man in Congo who has been helping Uganda government with the investigation has been warned by the police, who are supposed to have relied on him. And we are reliably informed that the person who bought the ambulance wants extra charge on what he had paid. So he wants 600 million shillings. And I believe, since we have Interpol
taking up the case, apprehending that man in the Congo, in Arua or Bunia, should have been a lot more easier. But funny enough, Uganda and Congo are failing to apprehend this man here. And in any case, the other question is, we have a CCTV camera at the gate of our hospital. Up to date, no image of this vehicle leaving the gate has been availed. Nobody has been apprehended. People who were arrested and put behind the bars were released the next day. The driver of that vehicle has been transferred. We have medicines that have gotten lost in the hospital. We have machines that have gotten lost in the hospital. Nobody has been punished. The hospital administrator tells the politicians who have got people's mandate that this is a hospital under the Ministry of Health, supervised from Kampala, but not supposed to be supervised by our local leaders here, when the hospital actually is supposed to serve the local people. And the fact that even the local administration here is supposed to nominate people on the board means that the local leaders have a lot of stake in that hospital. It beats my understanding that all these things can be happening and no head is rolling. I find it a bit disturbing. Yes. And even the local leaders are not taking a move to recommend for the sacking or transfer of some of these servants in our hospital.
The hospital administrator is nowhere above or even unmanageable. Why not take him away? If these are the problems he caused in Moroto Hospital, Moroto is not Arua. This man must be taken away. We have better hospital administrators who can crop up. We have the deputy administrator, Dr. Gilbert Aniku. I believe he could do it better because I know his ability. Yes, as far as his background from Ombachi is concerned, the fact that he is the chairperson of St. Joseph's College Ombachi Old Boys Association, he was elected to that position because he's competent. Aniku can do that work better, and maybe because Aniku is a son of the soil, he will have a much deeper feeling for his people than somebody
made a statement. Now the police